Good evening. It's now 6:30 p.m. and I call the regular meeting of the Victoria City Council to order. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item on our agenda tonight is announcements. The City Council will be taking a 2022 capital projects tour by bus around the city on Monday, September 20th at 5 p.m. That's 1 week from today. We ask any member of the public that wishes to join us to let our city clerk know by September 15th so that we can ensure the correct size bus. The next budget workshop will be held Monday, September 27th at 5 p.m. We'll be discussing streets and transportation capital projects at that workshop. And the City Council will hold a joint workshop with the Planning Commission on Monday, October 11th at 5:30 to receive an update on the Downtown West project, the city-owned 13.5-acre parcel. All meetings of the City Council are open to the public and held in the City Council chambers unless otherwise noted. We encourage anyone who wants to attend our council meetings or workshops in person to contact our city clerk so we can ensure physical distancing can be maintained. In other announcements, our weekly farmers market in partnership with the Southwest Metro Chamber and Enki Brewing will continue through the end of September. Come on out to Enki Brewing parking lot on Thursdays this month from 3 to 6 to support our local farmers and artisans. Additionally, before we begin with tonight's business, I want to take a moment and acknowledge the passing of Victoria's former mayor, Tom O'Connor. On behalf of the Victoria City Council and the city staff, I want to express our deepest condolences to Tom's wife, Kathy, his children, Sean, Mark, Brian, and Megan, along with his extended family and friends. Tom passed away on Wednesday, September 1st. He enjoyed a successful business career and served our country in the U.S. Navy and did a stint in the Peace Corps alongside his wife, Kathy. When Tom retired, he brought all that experience and talent to the city of Victoria. The city benefited greatly from Tom's leadership. He was elected to the City Council in 2008 and as mayor in 2012. He served the city honorably through 2016. He didn't shy away from unpopular decisions and always put the interests of the city of Victoria and its residents first. Under Tom's thoughtful leadership, the city of Victoria's landscape changed. A much-needed new public works building was built, along with a new city hall and library to serve our growing city. The Lake Minnetonka Regional Trail and underpass to the Minnesota Landscape Arboretum was completed during Tom's tenure, along with a myriad of housing developments. The Steiger Lakefront was made more accessible with the addition of the Bayfront Park. The Flats apartment project was shepherded through its redevelopment and approval process under Mayor O'Connor's leadership. These are just a few examples. Tom worked diligently on behalf of the city of Victoria and its residents and was a friend and mentor to many, me included. He will be missed. Rest in peace, Mayor O'Connor.
Amen.
Now we'll move on to our next item, and that is our open forum. It is the opportunity for anyone to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda and not in application form that will be coming to the council at a future date. We have no one registered to speak this evening, but if there's anyone in council chambers that wishes to address the council, please step to the podium and let us know. Seeing no one, we'll move on with our agenda. Our next order of business is to adopt the final agenda. Council, is there a motion to adopt the final agenda?
Motion to adopt the final agenda.
Thank you. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The items on the consent agenda are routine, administrative, and do not require deliberation or are housekeeping items that are required by law. They're approved with one vote unless someone requests an item to be considered separately. Ms. Hardy, is there anything that staff wishes to pull from the consent agenda?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council, is anyone wishing to pull anything from the consent agenda? Seeing none, anyone in the audience that wishes to pull anything from the consent agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda, please?
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
And a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. We're now moving on to our regular agenda. The first item on the agenda is item 6.1, and that is the set sale resolution for general obligation bonds for the South Area Sewer Extension Project and refunding. Presenting this evening is Finance Director Trish Pollock and our financial advisor Tammy Amdahl. I am going to start with Trish.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, Tammy Amdahl is here as the city's municipal advisor. She works with Northland Securities, and she is going to talk about the Series 2021A bonds for the financing of the South Area Sewer Extension and refunding of the 2013A bonds. Welcome, Tammy.
Good
Thank
evening,
you,
Ms.
Trish.
Amdahl.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. Tammy Amdahl with Northland Securities. Tonight you have before you an action related to the issuance of general obligation bonds in the approximate amount of $3,930,000. This is the start of the process, so you're not actually issuing the bonds tonight. You are calling for the sale of the bonds. Sometimes that amount can change a little bit as factors change as you move towards the sale date. The proceeds will be used to finance the sewer extension project that the city's been working on. And the second portion is the refunding of existing bonds, and that sole purpose, I'm trying to remember the series, the 2013A, not to change the maturities, to simply take advantage that market conditions are such that rates are lower now. So the maturities won't be extended. It'll be paid off as planned with the pledge of those special assessments. It will save the city money if the rates come in lower. I mention that because between now and the sale date, if unexpectedly market conditions changed enough that it no longer made sense to include that refunding, I've talked to Trish that the city would have the option to not include that if it did not meet the city's savings objective. So the amount is about $965,000 greater, the par amount that would be sold because of that refunding, and for the public to know that too. So the amount of new bonds that are being issued to finance new project cost is estimated at approximately $2.9 million. The balance of that $965 is for the refunding portion. With respect to the security, the pledge on the sewer portion is net revenues of the sewer fund. The city has anticipated this project in its long-term plans, and your rates are set such for the repayment of those bonds. The refunding bonds, the 2013A, the pledge on those bonds was special assessment revenue. With respect to the estimated true interest cost, and we won't know the rate on these bonds until bids are taken the morning of November 8th, but the estimated true interest cost is 1.15%. So if you follow the market at all, rates continue to be at historic lows. With respect to a rating, we are recommending that the city seek a rating on these bonds. Standard & Poor's rates the city's current outstanding bonds, and you hold the highest rating that is possible, and that is the AAA rating. So staff will work with Northland on that process to secure a rating, and at the same time, they would affirm the rating on the city's existing outstanding bonds. As noted, this will be a public sale. Competitive bids will be taken on November 8th at 10 a.m., and I will be at your meeting that evening to present the results of the sale. Mayor, City Council, happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Ms. Amdahl. Trish, anything to add?
I do not, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Council, any questions for Ms. Amdahl or Trish?
No, I went through everything. Looks good.
I don't, can you go back over was it 965K and then the 2.2? I didn't quite catch.
Yes, certainly. So when bonds are issued, they are issued, it'll be one series and it'll have one par amount. And the estimated par amount, which is the principal, the combined principal, is $3,930,000. In order to save on the cost of issuance, this bond will include two portions, or sometimes called purposes. One of the purposes will be the issuance of the bonds to finance the sewer extension, and that amount is $2,965,000 estimated. The balance, the $965,000, is the principal amount related to the refunding. And that's why it's a higher amount than it otherwise would be without that refunding.
Okay.
There's always the alternative to issue what's called separate series, so different bond holders, but that costs more for the city to do that. And from an accounting perspective, your staff is used to including multiple purposes in order to save money on the issuance of the bonds with respect to costs.
All right, great. Councilmember Adair?
No, clear it up, thank you.
Any other questions from council? Seeing no other questions, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the issuance of bonds? Do I have to be more specific?
And a resolution providing for the competitive negotiated sale of the 3.930
Where is the motion?
bond series 2021A, and authorize the city manager to engage Northland Securities as municipal advisor for the bond issuance for 21/7/10. I guess.
I'll make that motion.
All right, so just to repeat that, we're going to authorize a resolution to set the sale for general resolution. Let me try that again. Set the sale for resolution general obligation bonds, Series 2021A for the South Area Sewer Extension Project and refunding of general obligation PIR fund bonds, Series 2013A, and authorize city manager to engage in Northland Securities as municipal advisors for the bond issuance for 21/7/10. Trish, can you tell us about that $21,710? Is that the cost to engage Northland Securities?
Yes, Mayor, that's correct.
Okay. So that is the motion. Does anyone have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Amdahl. Great.
Thank you.
Moving on, item 6.2 is to consider approval of our 2022 maximum tax levy and general fund budget. Presenting again this evening is Finance Director Ms. Pollack. Ms. Pollack, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight, we are discussing the 2022 preliminary levy and general fund budget for our max tax. Sorry, having a problem getting the slides to come up. Yeah, it's only showing the first page for some reason. Thank you. All right. Okay, so the 2022 budget process, we're moving right along. So tonight would be the adoption of the max tax levy. Previous council direction, just a quick review, we had the addition of the city planner and IT manager, reduce in the fire permit revenue, addition of the tree replacement fees to the 2022 fee schedule. We also modified some building permit revenues and park donation fees. Use of the general fund transfer of trails in 2022 and redirected that to the capital facilities fund for the build out of the fire station. And we eliminated at the last workshop the 80,000 contingency transfer to assigned fund balance at year end if it's available. And then also an increase in the elections budget in the amount of $40,000 for possible new precinct and some legislative changes. So that brings us to a max tax proposed levy of $6.6 million, which is 5.29% higher than last year's levy. The tax capacity rate is actually going down slightly, and that is 31.56% of 1% of the property market value. This is lower due to the fiscal disparities amount that we got from the county recently. So that came in higher than what we had anticipated at our last workshop. So that's why you'll see that lower tax capacity rate. This slide is a summary of the general fund budget, the revenues, expenditures and transfers. It also includes $144,166, which is what's needed to add to our fund balance to be able to reach that 30% of next year's expenditures. So again, the preliminary tax levy is $6.6 million. 5.4 approximately is the general fund, and then 1.2 million of that is debt service. So this shows our tax impact. Again, the tax capacity rate is going down slightly. The median home value went up 11.2%, and the tax on a medium valued home is about $1,549 annually, about a 9% increase. Most of that tax increase is due to the increase in the property value in comparison to what the median home value was last year. We base our estimated population on just under 3 persons per household. It's actually 2.95% was the estimated from the last census in 2020. So long-term financial plan projections through 2029, tax capacity rate is estimated to be between 30 and 33% each year. We maintain the 30% general fund unassigned fund balance, and then we show our household increase estimates. Going up annually, we estimate a 3% increase on the median home value, a 2.5% increase in the market, and then 3% on inflation for expenditures and revenues as well. So at the last workshop, council asked staff to further explore whether additional funding would be needed to help advance the city's vision for the commercial tax base expansion in the city's southwest growth area. Staff reviewed and believe that council should maintain the plan that's been proposed that includes things like the attendance at conferences such as National League of Cities and International City Managers Association. It also includes hosting workshops with the Urban Land Institute and continuing to review and keep current on ordinances and city codes. Staff does, however, believe that they could benefit by adding in additional professional development dollars for focusing on economic development, opportunities and innovations that could advance visioning for the growth area. So if council would be interested in staff doing so, we have added $6,800 to the max tax levy budget for furthering economic development, and you will see in your packet that this budget option would be number 2 on your proposed resolutions and budgets. So the next step would be asking council to approve either option 1 or 2. So the option 1, again, was the 5.29% levy increase, and the option 2 would be a 5.43% increase. The tax rate would change from 31.56 to 31.61. And there would be about a $2 difference annually on the medium home value taxes. That's all I have for my presentation tonight. So would just like to hear what option you would be interested in approving.
Thank you, Trish. Council, questions? Councilmember Gunderson.
Asked via email what our median value home and what that meant for what the median paid per month additionally. And we came back at $10 and $13 a month above what last year was. To me, the investment is good. My goal, and this is me, and I said this at the last meeting, is that our rate, if we do some of the intelligent planning now, and I'm not saying anybody's not, I'm just saying if we do it well enough, hopefully that by the time we get to 2029, if we're at 29.95, that's a win for us. That's a lot of work to do, but I think it's within the realm of possibility that by 2029, we could be under 30%, which is huge for us at our current rate. And so I think we need to do the work now so that we can start to get there. Because I've always said we're paying too much in terms of that 1% that we have. And getting under that 30%, I think, should be our goal.
Yeah.
And so, but we continue to not, if we continue zero flat increases, we're never going to get there. We're just never going to get there. I mean, to me, doing stuff, putting in the work now is going to pay off later. And so I want to put in the work, and I'm hoping we get there. The one question I do have, though, is there a difference between median, what we're using, what the middle house pays, versus what our average house pays? What's the average home in Victoria versus the median?
Councilmember Gunderson, Mayor, members of the council, for purposes of our discussion, we're using median and average interchangeably.
Okay. Thank you.
Councilmember Gunderson, anything else? All right. Councilmember Black, did you have a question?
I needed to understand the extra 6,800. What is that going to go for?
Councilmember Black, Mayor, members of the council. So staff went back and did the exercise that you asked us to do when we looked at different opportunities. So there are some opportunities for us to further explore additional conferences, additional networking opportunities to further advance your strategic plan and your vision for the South area growth. And so these were specific activities that we felt we could reasonably take on as staff in addition to the things that we're already doing that Tricia covered with you here this evening.
Okay. And we don't have any money. We need to actually increase the levy in order to get that 6,800. We don't have any money anywhere.
That's up to council, Councilmember Black, Mayor, members of the council. We were directed to go look to see if there was additional money that we needed to focus on this expanded tax base, commercial tax base portion of our strategic plan priority. And that's why we presented it this way. So council, it's completely up to you on how you would like to direct us, if you would like to direct us to do that.
So that's part of our strategic plan, is to get this,
The South area.
is to get that going, and the commercial tax base, so we can make a decision about whether we want to use that 6,800 from fund balance, or if we want to increase the levy to do that. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay. One other question.
Councilmember Black?
On number 1, it says tax capacity rate 32.26, but then on number 2, it says tax capacity rate 31.61.
Councilmember Black, yes. On the agenda statement, the higher rate was listed because that is what it was at our last workshop. And then in the paragraph below, it explains that it went down 0.7 due to the fiscal disparities number coming in.
Oh, okay.
But the levy amount actually doesn't change between those.
Oh, okay. All right.
Councilmember Black, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Other questions?
I guess I don't have a question. It's just, I guess I would agree with Derek. You know, I think, you know, we need to do what we can do, you know, to keep pushing our vision and to help get down below 30, right? Like, I mean, you know, we want to see that commercial tax base expand. You know, and I will say, you know, I think our staff works, I mean, they work on a tight budget all the time, and I think if they come to us saying that 6,800 is a reasonable amount for them to do more stuff, I think we have to seriously look at it, because I think we have to trust our staff. I mean, they work hard, and if they say that extra money will help them get to where we want to get, then I think we have to go forward with it.
Okay.
When it's only a $3 per month, I think it was difference, or whatever it was, 10 to 13, right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, but if I'm not mistaken, I think we asked them to go find that, right? They weren't
Right.
asking for more, right? We, as a group, we wanted them to go and kick more tires and find out what was the opportunity. So just for clarity perspective, right? But I do agree with what you're saying.
Council, any other questions? I don't think I have anything to add either. Thank you very much. Good work from city staff here. With that, since I see no other questions, I will entertain a motion. Does anyone want to?
There is
Got a
the
motion.
motion.
Between one, we're looking at our general fund budget. We have option number 1.
I think we decided number 2. Resolution,
and are there 2 different ones we have to do?
So,
you do one or the other. So,
Well, but there's 4 on
Yeah.
in the packet.
yeah, Mayor, members of the council, there is 2 resolutions that need to be approved tonight. One is for the Max Tax Levy, and the other is to approve the general fund budget. So there's an option 1 and an option 2 for either one. So if you want to move forward with the resolutions that I have up on the screen, you would just have to add that it's option 2 if that's what you choose.
So I make a motion to approve resolution number 2, approving a preliminary tax levy for the city of Victoria for collection in 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2, approving a preliminary 2022 budget for the general fund.
second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We are now on to reports and emerging issues. Council, there are no more regular agenda items. Attorney Vos, do you have any reports?
Mayor, council, I don't. It's nice to see you all. It feels like it's been a while since we've been together, but no, I have nothing to report. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hardy, any reports from staff?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council, any reports? Councilmember Black, please.
I just have one. I just wanted to remind everyone that on Thursday is the 1-year anniversary for the Bethesda Cornerstone Village, and they're having a big party, so everyone's invited between 6 and 9.
Thank you. Council, anything else? There are no more items to come before the body this evening. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
I have a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.
Second? Was it you?